Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Wednesday, August the 4th. So the first thing I want to say is, well, there's two things I want to say, is that with the FTSE, the Stock 50 and the DAX, this is all so messy in here that counting it is putting me into the guessing game a little bit. So there's a bit of an issue with that. So then I sort of need to sort of revert back to basically support and resistance, the trading levels. So we can see at the 500 here, the 15,500, we do really have a nice support. This market has moved up. You know, if we look at the classic trading levels pattern here, for example, the normal process for a market to migrate from being resistance to support over here, it goes through a process, and it's pretty simple. It's, you know, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, a correction, and then back on support. So, and then moves up. So we've kind of got that over here where we have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction, and then getting support over here. It's just on the intraday basis I'm having a lot of difficulty in here. One of the things that the other thing that I want to point out is that I think that we're going to push up. This is the NASDAQ. And with the NASDAQ here, we've got much the same thing, the arrival, the reaction, also at 15,000 as well. Yeah, so the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction here, and now it's, you know, it's snaking across here, and it's basically finding support. So we look for that support, and we go long on top of that. This is also another little 1 and 2 here as well. So the wave count is pushing it, you know, is suggesting that we're moving to the upside, and the S&P is much the same as well. It's sort of snaking across 4 here. It's also had a lot of problems here because with a wave 1 and 2 here, most of the time, like sort of 98% of the time, would see the market move up, and a wave 2 correction, and it's what we're looking for in the European indices, is normally a simple zigzag. So it's just an ABC pattern like this, and then pushes up. It should be really quite simple. It's a 5-wave structure, 3-wave structure, and 5-wave structure. So a 5, 3, 5. If wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 over here would normally be complex. So we would see things like triangle patterns and double zigzags and a few of those sorts of things, you know, before sort of heading higher. But I think what we're looking at here is that this is the guideline of alternation. So if one wave is simple, then the next wave will be complex. So I think we're getting the reverse of that. I think we're getting the complex in wave 2, and we'll get wave 4 to be simple. So you can see the S&P here has also been a bit of a nightmare as well. But you can also see that it's pushing up here now, and it's normally, when you get triple tops, it's normally the 4th time that it pushes through. So I think we're ready to go higher. So that's kind of what I just wanted to point out, that other markets, global markets, are ready to push it. So I think we can push higher here. It's just that it's not counting very well, that's all. So we'll just start moving in and having a little bit of a look at this. In this case here, I've got it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can put wave 5 in there. We've got a little 5-wave structure there for one. So that should pull back here to the 50-60% retracement level. It doesn't have to. It's sitting really squarely also on that 500 there that I mentioned before. So in a bit of a nutshell, I think that if we see strength, then all we need to do is buy new highs, but just do it in a very small way. And then, you know, when we're looking from coming back to the trading levels, 15,000 which is a medium level, and 16,000 up here, we've got the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So that's how we use them as a price ratio. We also know some numbers are stronger than others. So 5 is the second strongest number, 8 is the third strongest number. So we can see it got hit over here for that. So what we want to see here, when we talk about 8, I talk about group 2, 65, 72, and then the 80. We can see that the market is trying to get into to group 2, which is 15,650, the lower end of group 2. So if you see that, let's just assume for a moment that the market will go up. If that's the case, buy a small amount here and then look to add in through these levels here as each one of these become the support. And then we would need to put wave 2 over here. I can't put wave 2 there at the moment. Yes, I can get an ABC out of that, but it's so small that I'm concerned about it a little bit. So this trade here would need to be, let's just, we'll copy that and put that there, and we'll copy it again and put it there. And this first trade here, we'll just put it down as half a trade. So I feel, and I'll just put a thinner line for that. So I feel that we could be on the right side of the market. It's just that we need to be really cautious about how we approach that. If I go to the intraday here, it's just going to get messier and messier. So we'll look at the FTSE, which is also a mess as well, but that's nothing sort of unusual. What I've been doing here, as you may know, we've got wave 4 here. I've counted this up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty happy with that. And then an ABC for wave 2. So I'm having a lot of trouble with this wave structure here. Yes, I understand parts of it, but at the same time, there's things there that are not quite right, like this move up through here's all squashed up on this 7,000 here. But the thing here is that we waited to go long here once we had the closest largest number, the 7,000, as the support. So as that, it played around up here, did what it needed to do in terms of the trading levels, and then sat on here. So we just bought new highs and it came back and tested it and all that sort of stuff, and it's moved up. We've gone long again because the next level up from 7,000 is 100, 200 and 300, 1, 2, 3 that make up minor group 1. So we're here at the moment. It could also pull back here as well, but I'm not really going to worry about that. We're position trading. We're not day trade. We're not intraday day trading and those sorts of things. So we're just trading the trend here. When I count this in a sort of a fingers crossed guessing game kind of counting thing, it is possible to have wave 3 here, but I just can't see that being the case, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll have to turn around and say to you that I don't understand this count. I understand some of it, of course. I can count 5 waves in some of it and 5 waves here and so on and so on. So I'm really just trading with the levels here and the sentiment of the general market in the way it's moving. And this also, we can just drop this back into, the owl is fine. I'll just leave it at that for that. And also the stock 50 as well. It's also giving me a hard time as well. So from the low here, I've counted up here as 1 and 2, and I've pulled all this apart here. So I'm happy with all of this. I'm happy with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, right? And 5 here. But where's my wave 2? It should be pulling back to the 50-60% retracement level, back closer to 4,000. So it's not here yet, Do I put wave A here and wave B up here and wave C down here somewhere and wave 2 over here for that? I'm not that sure about that because, also too, when you consider, well, 4,000 is a medium level, then we've got the first minor level, which is 100, and the next one would be 200. And then between these levels, we have sub-levels. So we can also count between, between 100 and 200 here. We can do the same thing again. We can count 1, 2, 3, or 10, 20, and 30. That 1, 2, and 3 make up group 1. And then 50, the midpoint, and then number 8 here as well. But with 8, we also bring in group 2, which is 65. And 72, which I won't do at the moment. So one of the things that we can look for here is support on 30. So if we get support on 30 and you're not in the market already, then you can see how this is tested support here. Then you want the same on the 30 there. That will tell you, if you get support on number 3, then it's telling you the market's leaving the largest number and it's moving up, and the next level will obviously be 5. So that will be the 50 that we call the midpoint, and then the 80 here, which we can put in as well. And we should just, while we're working on this level, we'll just increase these ones here. Give it a bit of definition, that's all. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 here as group 1. We want support on top of 30 here, and then we've got 50, and then we've got 80. So when we've got 80, let's just put those in there. 65, 65, 65. I'll adjust it later, close enough for the time being. And 72 in here. And we normally just put a splash of color in there just to define it as a design thing. So, yeah, but either way, this market, it has got support here, and it has worked. You can see that it's tried to work up. It's the first time that it's sitting up there squarely. It's tried it here, got hit off, had another go here, and then this one here really sort of stood its ground at that point, and it's got that nice support. So that's why we're looking to go, that's why we looked to go long here yesterday or the day before, whatever it was. And you can look to add to that over here, but there is risk with that. So the stop would really need to go under the 4-1 for that, under the last low for that, which is a bit of a sucker's game, but we'll just cruise with that for the time being. Yeah, so I'm just not sure how to count the things. They're not really playing out the way that that they should be, you know. I mean, like I said, I could put wave 2 here, but it's just too small. So I'll just leave it there for the time being. So if it does come down here, it will come down in 5 waves and you'll know where you are, and then we're pushing up. But otherwise, if the NASDAQ and the S&P push up like I think they should, will, coulda, shoulda, woulda, then obviously these Euro markets are going to be following to the upside as well there. But yes, definitely... I suppose we could put this wave 5 over here, this wave 1. This is the whole thing, though, the getting into the guessing game, you know. We could put this over here, and this could be like an ending triangle kind of thingy-bobby, you know, coming through here in some way or another as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this, failing to get support there and then coming down here. So that's a possibility as well. But this is what I'm talking about, you know, it's just one guessing game thing after the other, you know. So I'm a little bit unsure about about it all. Yeah, so I'm sorry I can't be much of a help, but if you're not in this market, then you can get in with the 30 as a tested support, but you would want to see at the 30, you would want to see this picture here. So coming up to the 30, hitting it, dropping back, making the first high above the level, and then getting back over here and using that high and this one if you can to go long on, because otherwise we could end up back here. We haven't really seen this wave 2 correction just yet in this. So yeah, anyway, that's my my issue. See, the other way to count this too would be the other way to count this. These are the things. We could look at this as the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for that, and then copy that for wave 5 on this top. But we're not really getting a nice 5-wave structure here. And then looking at this as an A and some sort of B and C. You know what I mean? It's just not. I can't solve the problem. Today I declare my usefulness. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, look, sorry guys, but I have been struggling with these counts for a little while, and it's not getting much easier. So I will leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with me. Cheers.